Hello, everyone. Welcome back to The Journey. Today's topic is comparison. This topic will segue into next week's episode, which is entitled Strife, Jealousy versus Envy. What's the difference? Have you ever heard the saying, comparison is the thief of joy? That statement was made popular by the 26th President of the United States of America, Theodore Roosevelt. Well, that statement is true. Comparison happens when we try to find differences or similarities between people, places, or things. Here are a few examples of comparison. I prefer Disney World to Disneyland because Disney World is bigger. His smile is as bright as the sunshine. The Mercedes-Benz drives much faster than a BMW. These are examples of how one might compare. Of course, comparison can go extremely far. It can be something simple and fun, but it can also lead to something more serious, like comparing ourselves to others. Here are a few examples. My house is not as big as theirs. He earns more money than I do. She always sings at the Dallas Opera, and I have never sung there. Author and professor Princeton Nee states that when you find yourself envious of what someone else has and feels jealous, inferior, or inadequate as the result, you're having a negative social comparison moment. Habitual negative social comparisons can cause a person to experience greater stress, anxiety, depression, and make self-defeating choices. This kind of negative social comparison is what I'm going to focus on today. My friends, one of the most harmful things we can do to ourselves is to compare our journey with others. When we compare ourselves with what others have achieved, like having a new car, being promoted on the job, buying a new home, or posting photos of a so-called happy life, we become sad or discontented about our own situations. Once we find ourselves upset after making the comparison, there is a very strong possibility of falling into the trap of jealousy or envy. The next time you find yourself comparing your life with someone else, ask yourself these questions. Why is it important for me to do this? Is this serving to make me a better person? Is this going to help me become a stronger person? Will this matter in 1 year, 3 years, or for the rest of my life? Most of the time we compare ourselves because we have the need to feel validated in what we are doing. Other times we compare ourselves because we are in a race to beat someone. We are actually in competition with someone else. Dear friends, the most valuable approval you will ever receive will come from you. The best person to beat in any competition is yourself. By that, I mean you are really only competing against you. When I was competing in beauty pageants nearly 15 years ago, I dreamed of being crowned Miss California or Miss Nevada. I competed in both states. Every year that I went back, my parents always said, "Angel, you are not competing against the other girls. You are competing to be better than you were last year." Naturally, this was a bit difficult for a slightly overzealous, ambitiously competitive young 22-year-old girl to hear. However, every year that I competed in pageants, this sentiment grew stronger and stronger within me. I'm competing against myself to beat who I was last year. As funny as that might sound, this motto has helped to keep me from comparing myself in the most difficult situations. It is completely human to want to compare, but always remember that the journey you are on is uniquely yours. Every experience, every pain, every obstacle, every joy, every triumph, every setback, every setup, and every footstep on your journey has made you who you are today. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. You have a special fingerprint that is not shared with anyone else on the planet. You have everything it takes to achieve what you desire. Your path has been designed specifically for you. If comparison is the thief of joy, then being thankful for your achievements and where you are is the giver of life and true happiness. Remember that. Enjoy your journey, and I'll see you next week.